Yo, how's it going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, UFC 299 was this past weekend, and we saw Marlon Chito Vera get absolutely destroyed by Sean O'Malley for 5 rounds. I mean, let's just be completely honest. Marlon Chito Vera put out a statement. Let's go ahead and read it, and then we'll talk about it. He said, "I dream about last night my whole life and fell short at the end of the day. I will be back thanks to my family and team for being on my side. The love of Ecuador was felt more than ever. Thanks for supporting me that way. I will be back stronger. The belt will be mine one day. Thank you." I feel really, really bad for Marlon Chito Vera. I really, really do, given the fact that a lot of people pulled up to Miami to pretty much support him, and he had a terrible performance. Let's just be honest. It was a terrible performance on both Chito's part and on both his coaching's part, because let's just be honest, whenever a fighter goes into the cage, it's not just the fighter. You guys have to be aware of that. It's not just the fighter. It's the fighter, the coach, the training camp, the systems, and pretty much the offensive and defensive schemes they created for this fight. So it just sucks. It just sucks, if I'm being completely honest. Now, I hope we see a big turnaround for Marlon Chito Vera, and I hope we see him fight for the title again. But a couple of days ago, I made a video pretty much just saying that I don't think that Marlon Chito Vera's coaching and the way that he's developed, I just don't think his team that or whoever he's putting himself around with is good enough to compete against the best in the world. And I'm just being completely honest. Okay, so leading up to this fight, I pretty much just gave my own reasoning on why I thought Sean O'Malley was the better fighter. A lot of it has to do with the fact that, Sean O'Malley has better footwork, and with footwork, he's able to find positionings, right? He has very intricate offensive and defensive schemes, which I think is very important for a long, lanky fighter who is a counterpuncher. And he's very, very good at drawing attacks. Now, that's going to be very important. I'm going to go into that a little bit later. For Marlon Chito Vera, I just don't think that he has developed all too well with his footwork. I think his footwork from their first fight is very, very similar. I don't think that he drills footwork at all, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, okay, going back to my first point, I don't think that Marlon Chito Vera's team gave Chito Vera any insight on the way that Sean O'Malley likes to engage the 50-50. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like Sean O'Malley was just drawing out attacks by feinting a lot, being super, super active. Now, his style is very, very taxing. It's super high cardio. It's a super high cardio style. So in my opinion, I felt like if Chito Vera would have fought the smarter fight, he probably could have had a better chance of winning this fight. But of course he didn't. He wanted to attack from the 50-50 the entire time. And this pretty much just gave Sean O'Malley a lot of opportunities to draw attacks, which is exactly what Sean O'Malley wants. He wants to draw out attacks from Marlon Chito Vera because he's a counter fighter. He's a counter fighter. And I don't think that Marlon Chito Vera I don't think that he was picking up on this literally at all. From round 1 to round 5, wasn't picking up on it at all. Of course, we saw him have moments in round 4 where he was doing, a little bit better competitively. But it didn't last all too long. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Sean O'Malley was getting a little bit gassed. I don't think that a lot of it has to do with Chito Vera being a technical master, right? Or having a strong strategy. It's as simple as, Sean O'Malley was getting tired at that point. And look, I'm gonna just be completely honest. Chito Vera landed his first clean strike, and I thought that was pretty funny. Not to be an asshole or anything, but I just want to point this out. Chito Vera landed his first clean strike in round 3, and the crowd goes wild. We're like, "Oh yeah, let's go, Chito! You landed your first clean strike at the end of round 3," and then he just falls. He just falls on his ass, and Sean O'Malley just he lands the round. He ends the round with him being on top of him. Which was I just thought it was wow, like this is pretty bad. I think that Chito Vera went into this fight with absolutely no system to counter Sean O'Malley's system, with no game plan to really counter Sean O'Malley's system, and I think it came back and bite him in the ass. I don't really know what drilling or what they were practicing that entire fight camp. If I'm being completely honest, man, I think that Chito Vera should just find a new coach. I think that he should find a new development team, and I think that he should find smarter people who know about positionings, who know about the technicalities about fighting specific fighters, and overall just be around a smarter team. Because what we saw on Saturday, it was a clear indication of the fact that pretty much what Chito Vera was practicing for, it just wasn't there. It just wasn't there at all. And it pissed me off a lot. Now I'm gonna go a little bit into a different rant here, but I hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Um, Chito Vera would go to his corner, and this really pissed me off, man. You guys have no freaking idea how much this shit pissed me. It pissed me off so much. Chito Vera would go to his corner, and he was pretty much just like, "Coach, what do I do? Coach, what do I do against this guy? He's whooping my ass, coach." And his coach was just like, and I'm a quote here. I'm a quote here. This is exactly what his coach said. "Go out there and get that motherfucker." What kind of freaking advice is that? What kind of advice is that? What kind of language is that for you to tell your fight? Like, I get it. I understand. Maybe you're trying to motivate Chito Vera into fighting this fight. Because a lot of people thought that he was gun shy. Like, no. Marlon Chito Vera was not gun shy. He was ready for this fight. He was ready to stand and bang. But he was getting outpositioned. He was literally getting outpositioned like 90% out of the time. He was getting outpositioned from Sean O'Malley from multiple angles, from multiple positions, and that's pretty much like, imagine trying to fight a fight where you're like, "Oh, I'm getting hit. Oh, damn, I'm getting hit. Oh, let me block. I'm getting hit." Like, oh. Like, Sean O'Malley was doing a really good job at limiting Chito Vera's offense. It's pretty much what it all came down to. Chito Vera was biting on all the feints. He was trying to counter off the feints. Sean O'Malley was doing a really good job at drawing out opponents. And every time Chito Vera went back to his corner to get advice, his coach was giving him terrible freaking coaching. Terrible freaking coaching. Really bad coaching. What kind of let me not get mad, man. I had a whole thing about this in my last video. I don't want it to be this one's, but I was getting really mad whenever Chito Vera was just going back to his corner, and his corner was just telling him the dumbest shit. If I'm just being completely freaking honest, I think it's time for Chito Vera to find a new coach. It's time for him to find a new organization to practice behind, because it's not looking good. Not looking good. You can tell that Chito has no system, really. He's just going out there to fight and tough it out, and that's not going to get him far, especially against the best in the division. Night and day. You can tell that Sean O'Malley has a system behind his movements. They're not just unconscious movements. He's not going just to the left just to go to the left. Like, he's going to the left to change into a southpaw position, feint, disengage, go back to the right. Like, these are all positioning battles. Ladies and gentlemen. These are all positioning battles. Like, what are we talking about here, man? There's a lot of people out here that are saying that, oh, Chito Vera was gun shy. No, he just didn't know how to get into a position to fight Sean O'Malley. Pretty much what it boils down to it. I don't know what the hell Chito Vera's team was going over whenever they had the fight camp. It was a bad performance from top to bottom, from the coaching strategies all the way to Chito's development. It was bad. It was very bad. So hopefully Chito Vera does the right thing and goes to a smarter camp. Yeah, that's just me being completely honest. But that's all I want to talk to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you agree or disagree. As always, it's a pleasure talking to each and every single one of you guys. Peace out and have a good one.